Hey everyone, welcome back to Insightful Gaming, where we dive deep into the world of Super Earth. The team at Arrowhead Studios recently unleashed their latest balance patch, and let me tell you, it's really shaken things up. Last round, they've given the flamethrower and laser cannon a nice little buff, while the railgun was nerfed. And if you thought that was all, think again. In yesterday's patch, they tweaked enemy spawns at difficulty level 7 and above. They've reduced the spawn rate of chargers and bile titans, and they have made it easier to kill them. But don't get it twisted, they've made it clear that the missions haven't gotten any easier, just a bit more varied with the types of enemies you'll run into. Now, despite these changes, it almost feels like the chargers and bile titans haven't gotten the memo about showing up less. This is probably just a bug, and hopefully it gets fixed soon. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But one thing's for sure, you're going to see a lot more of the other baddies, and more on this later in the video. All of these changes have completely changed the game's meta. As any seasoned gamer knows, every game has its meta, and Helldivers 2 is no exception. In the gaming world, meta is just a fancy term for the best strategy to win. In Helldivers, it means finding the perfect mix of armor, primary weapons, and stratagems that work great with how the game is playing right now. Metas are a big deal. They're part of what makes the game what it is. And with Helldivers, it's no different. Fortunately, Helldivers offers a ton of insane loadouts to pick from. So at the end of the day, go with what floats your boat. Today, I'm going to show you one of the best setups that I am loving at the moment, and we'll be using this to grind for the new war bond. I have broken the video in chapters, so feel free to pause, jump back, or skip ahead to get all the details. And if you find this helpful, hit that like button. It helps get this info out to more Helldivers like us. Spread the democracy, and let's dive right in. The star of today's show is the laser cannon. This bad boy shoots a continuous laser beam that does damage over time and is perfect for blasting through the enemy lines. If you're just starting out, snagging this stratagem is a piece of cake and can be unlocked at level 5. This is how the laser cannon looks on third-person view, firing off a relentless beam of laser goodness that doesn't even need ammo. The catch? Keep an eye on that heatsink, because if it gets too hot, you'll need to swap it out. It takes about 3 seconds to summon the stratagem in the battlefield, and the best part is that it's got unlimited uses, though you'll have to wait out a 480-second cooldown. As you let loose with this laser, you'll watch the heatsink meter rise. If your sync maxes out, you will have to reload your heatsink. And as you can see from the gameplay, it takes a very long time to reload the weapon. Once you get the hang of it, and it's like having an endless supply of laser firepower at your fingertips. After you take out an enemy, take a second break before you start shooting the next. If you do this, you will have no issues with your heatsink overheating. Unlimited ammo and its insane damage is exactly why the laser cannon is the running to be a meta-defining weapon. Let me break down the why. Like I mentioned before, the folks at Arrowhead Studios have cranked up the spawn of those mid-tier and low-tier enemies, and as a result, I am seeing lots of warriors, stalkers, bile spewers, and brood commanders swarming my way. This ups the ante for having a weapon that's not just reliable, but can mow down these baddies without running out of ammo. We're talking needing thousands of rounds because, in the thick of it, it really does feel like you're up against an endless tide of bugs. I always find myself running out of ammo more often than I would like to admit. This is why the laser cannon is considered god tier in my opinion. With its unlimited ammo and heavy hitting power, it's a game changer, especially after Arrowhead gave it a recent buff, upping its damage against the durable parts and increasing its armor penetration. This buff means our laser cuts through light and medium armored enemies because of extra penetration, and you hit extra hard against more durable enemy parts. For example, take the charger's belly that is considered a durable enemy part. Dealing with the likes of warriors, stalkers, and brood commanders can get tricky with their armored fronts. But here's the kicker, our laser doesn't care. It goes right through, dishing out the hurt. And then there's the spewers. Sure, they've got shells that deflect bullets and even our laser. But aim for that belly, which is considered a durable part, and you're looking at a bile spewer going down in record time. Rest of the bugs like hunters and scavengers are very fast, but you can easily kill them. Just make sure you keep backing as they get close. If they get too close, swap to your primary or your secondary. Alright, let's talk about tackling charges because, let me tell you, they are pretty easy to deal with. Their shell, face and legs are like Fort Knox against your laser, but hit them in the belly and it's a different story. That belly is their weak spot, as it is considered a durable part. Here's a little trick I use. Let a charger charge at you. Then, at the last second, dodge to the left and aim for its behind or back leg. It might take a bit, so keep an eye on your weapon's heat meter to avoid overheating. Now, if you're looking for other ways to take down a charger, don't worry. We've got our offensive stratagems coming up that'll do the trick. And if you're rolling with a squad, taking down a charger becomes a piece of cake. With the right stratagems like the railgun, flamethrower, or even the arc thrower in your team's arsenal, chargers don't stand a chance. Plus, with the recent nerf to chargers and Bile Titans heads, a single shot from a recoilless rifle or an expendable anti-tank can now take a charger down in one hit. So yeah, chargers and even Bile Titans aren't the big baddies they used to be. The real threat? Those endless waves of low and medium tier enemies swarming you. That's why we need a weapon that can handle the crowd without running out of juice. This weapon alone can deal with the non-stop waves of enemies, while we will rely on our stratagems and primary weapon to deal with the rest. Next, let's discuss armor. We are going to go with either light or medium armor. It's the sweet spot between protection and agility. Now, on to perks. My latest go-to when facing off against bugs is the Ambassador of the brand armor, sporting the extra padding perk. This gem gives you a hefty 150 armor rating, which is on par with what you'd get from heavy armor, but without slowing you down. If that doesn't float your boat, the Scout and Engineering Kit perks are also solid choices. Scout makes you 30% less noticeable to enemies. Plus, it lets you spot them on the map after a quick ping. Finally, and the Engineering Kit? It hands you 2 extra grenades, perfect for those missions where you're tasked with shutting down bug nests. Switching gears to robot enemies, I'd say go for heavy or medium armor. And perks. Beyond the ones I've already talked about, Democracy Protects is a standout perk. It gives you a 50% chance to not die from lethal damage and prevents bleeding out from chest wounds. Honestly, I've lost count of how many times this perk has kept me in the fight. Now, let's dive into our primary weapon choices. We've got a couple of real winners here. First up is the Slugger shotgun. Slugger is like the love child of an autocannon and a sniper rifle, but without the kaboom. Its range is off the charts. It goes through light armor like a hot knife through butter. All of the enemies below the charger don't stand a chance and can be taken down in a couple of shots. Keep in mind, we are going to be using the Slugger shotgun as a secondary weapon. We will only swap to our Slugger shotgun if we overheat our laser cannon or if hunters or scavengers get too close in your melee range. Outside of these scenarios, we are going to mainly be using the laser cannon. Then there's the Scorcher, another top-notch choice, and honestly, I find myself switching it up between missions. It's got that versatility and punch that can really make a difference on the battlefield. Alright, next up, we've got our reliable sidekick for those sticky situations, the Redeemer. Flip this beauty into semi-automatic mode to keep your ammo in check instead of spraying it all over the place. And for our explosive touch, we're rocking incendiary grenades for bug battles and switching to G16 impact grenades when it's robot wrecking time. With the weapons and armor out of the way, let's talk about our stratagems. First, we are using the Guard Dog Rover to pair it with the laser cannon. Now that's a duo that's downright heavenly. Together, they turn the battlefield into a no-fly zone for bugs. This stratagem alone can take care of all of those pesky hunters and scavengers, while you take care of the bigger enemies with your laser cannon. Alright, let's move on to our next stratagem highlight, the Orbital Rail Cannon. This thing is like the ultimate not today button for any towering terror that dares to step up to you in Helldivers. Picture this. You're squared off against a Bile Titan, this massive beast ready to stomp you into the ground, and then you call down the beacon. Next thing you know, a laser from the heavens zaps your problem away. And the best part? You don't need to be a sharpshooter to make it work. It seeks out the biggest threat on the field and just takes it out of the equation. Boom, one shot, one less giant problem. It's especially hilarious when it comes to heavily armored enemies. The rail cannon doesn't care about armor, it just goes right through it. Alright, we're rounding off our stratagem lineup with a recent unlock that's too good not to share, the exosuit. Just make sure you call down your rail cannon before summoning your exosuit. It's tailor-made for taking down the big guys, but offers so much more. It's loaded with 16 rockets, perfect for sending bile titans or tanks to the super hell, usually taking about 2 to 5 rockets depending on where you hit them. Plus, it's equipped with a machine gun that has 1,000 rounds, making it a beast against anything smaller than a charger. Alternatively, Eagle Airstrike is a solid choice. Quick, effective, and it doesn't mess around. It's got a speedy cooldown, making it perfect for those moments when you're swarmed. With the recent patch, Airstrikes also does a lot of damage to Bile Titans. In addition, a great tool to close down those bug nests and the robots fabricators. So there you have it, my take on the best loadout in Helldivers right now. But hey, play with what you love and what supports your team. The setups I've shared today are killer in the game's current universe. And for those new around here, I do this for the kicks, so hit me up in the comments with any loadouts you're curious about. Drop a like if you found this helpful or entertaining. And don't forget to subscribe for more Helldivers action. Have an awesome week ahead.